All right, now look, today I'm finna show y'all how I make Egg Foo Young. And I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I could not stand it. But then as I got older, I started to realize it's all about the gravy. So let me show y'all how I make it all. First things first, you're gonna need some onions, bean sprouts. You can use as much or as little as you want, to be quite frank. You're gonna need accent, which is MSG, which is also optional. Oyster sauce, low sodium soy sauce, white pepper. I have a pound of shrimp here, 2.5 cups of beef broth, cornstarch, 5 large eggs, and some Shaoxing cooking wine and a pinch of sugar. You see that? You see that? You see that? You see that? Don't ask me for the damn ingredient list. Now, come on. And just to let you know, the beef broth that I will be using in this recipe will be from Better Than Bouillon, and I'm using a nice rounded tablespoon. I'm going to add that to this measuring cup and put in 2 cups of hot water. I like a lot of gravy, so that's the reason why I'm going to make as much as I'm making. And then just give it a whisk until it's completely combined. And just to let you know, I ended up adding in 2.5 cups of water. And while that water is actually warm, I'm going to go on ahead and add in 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. Just add that beautifulness right into your measuring cup. And 1 tablespoon of low sodium soy sauce. 1/4 of a teaspoon of white pepper. If you don't have white pepper, you can absolutely use black. You can absolutely use black pepper. And of course, 1/8 of a teaspoon of the optional MSG or accent. You can use it, you cannot use it. It's completely up to you, Chad. And you guys know that I always say, if you want it to taste like the carryout, you gotta add in the Shaoxing wine. So we're gonna add in a half a tablespoon of that. Give it a good whisk. Now that we've gotten everything whisked together, go on ahead and pour that into your pan. Bring that up to a light simmer. To thicken up my gravy, I'm going to use equal parts cornstarch and water. So 1 tablespoon of cornstarch to 1 tablespoon of water. If you like yours thicker, then you can always add in more. Add in the water, give that a mix. Now that this has come up to a simmer, I'm going to go on ahead and add in that cornstarch slurry and give that a good whisk. Keep this over low heat, and you want to whisk this for maybe a minute or so, but keep an eye on it. Again, if you want yours thicker, you can add in more cornstarch. So the color of my gravy is looking spot on, but I decided that I wanted it just a little bit thicker, so I went in with 1 additional tablespoon of cornstarch, and I'm also going to go in with 1 additional tablespoon of soy sauce, and I added in a pinch of sugar. Now, these shrimp here have already been peeled, cleaned, and properly deveined. Now, if you want, you can leave yours in whole, but I actually like to give mine a rough chop. So I'm just going to give them a rough chop, no particular way. I just want to break them down a little bit smaller is all. And this is what they look like after I give it a rough chop. I've gone in and added my 5 large eggs to a glass bowl. And to that, I'm also going to add in, same thing, equal parts, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch to 1 tablespoon of water. I want to make sure that the Egg Foo Young has a nice bit of crisp to it, and this is going to help that happen. And so now you can go on ahead and whisk that together fully. I'm now going to add in a small pinch of sugar. Give that a whisk as well. Do not add any salt to this. You're going to have enough salt in the gravy. I'm now going to add in some of my delicious shrimp. And just to let you guys know, the 5 eggs that I'm using here is enough to probably feed, honestly, I would say maybe 2 people. If you want to have multiple, I would say, omelets, then you would need to double, if not triple this. So this is probably about 1 nice size serving. So as you can see, I have enough to do another serving if I wanted to. I'm now also going to go in and add in some bean sprouts, as well as some onion. Again, you can add in as much or as little as you want. Give that a good mix. And if you wanted to, you could also add in green onion as well. Now that my oil is starting to smoke, I can tell that it is ready to go. Check out my new beautiful wok. I've measured out about a cup or so. Add in as much or as little as you want, honey. And very gently put it in. It's going to spread out. That's completely fine. You're going to allow this to fry on one side for roughly 1 or 2 minutes, or until it is nice and golden brown on the bottom side. This is looking pretty good on the bottom side, but I'm going to let it go for maybe about another minute or so. This beauty is ready to be flipped. And let it continue to fry up. This beauty is all done. So I'm now going to take this out and transfer it over to a wire rack so that all of that excess oil can drain off, and I'm gonna repeat that process. My next one is looking absolutely fabulous. And like I said, you know, they don't all have to be the exact same size. You can cut them in 4s once they're done. Like this right here can be enough for just one person, to be quite frank, because this one is so big. But since this one is ready to go, take it out of the oil, place it onto the rack, and allow that excess oil to drip off. And that, my dears, is what shrimp egg foo young looks like before we even add the gravy onto it. Now, let's plate it up. I've transferred it over to a plate with some beautiful white rice. And now, let's go in with that delicious gravy. And you just put it right over the top. And that right there, that's egg foo young, honey. Put some green onion on it if you want to, child. But that's what we call good eating. And that right there, my loves, is how I make my shrimp egg foo young. I hope y'all enjoyed this recipe, and I hope y'all give it a try. Let me know what y'all think. Bye, honey. Taste test. I perfected it. I'm not trying to be funny, y'all. Make this recipe. Follow my directions. Exactly. You can switch out the protein. You can add in extra vegetables and do all that. But follow my directions for that gravy. I will never go to a Chinese spot again to get egg foo young. I don't need to. Now you tell me that this don't look like this didn't come from the local Chinese spot. Bitch. Boy, I'm a bad bitch. I'm a bad motherfucker. I swear to God. I swear. Boy, this is shrimp egg foo young. And it was made by T.Y. Young. You hear me? By God, on today.